I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
It's caught, Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go! 3-19!
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 22 carries, 96 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game, so expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench to tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see the kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take down the run.
And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go now.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's third down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Detroit! No, check, Patriots!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Gun!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Sterling Shepard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in 1 shot.
1 shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it, baby.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Detroit, Detroit.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On second down, Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
On third and long, it's Allen. David Johnson here on the catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Let's go! 3-19!
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defense?
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Preston Smith able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Robert Kindici in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those too because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. On second down, here's Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Seahawks on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Johnson on the counter. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They go play action here on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Rolling to his left. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
That was really nice return.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Back now comes the offense. Madden spotlight time as we shine it on Josh Allen. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Set! Blue, line it!
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. Adam Thielen, a touchdown reception.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Next, we head off to check out another game. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 35-0 is the final score.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So that one will be accepted. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Again, it's Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun!
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now let's go.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Allen to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Jackson's got it over the middle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will give them a 12-point lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
back down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chandler Jones, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there, but yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Johnson, he's been busy this afternoon. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A big run there by Johnson, 45 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing now is Allen. Dumping it off for Johnson. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
From the gun, it's Allen. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter. Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
With it is Jackson. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. This is Shepard on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. And that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On play action, Allen going deep for Moncrief. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today, try and get him over 100 yards.
Allen going to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Ravens have got it.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Again, it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here we go now. Green 30.
On 3rd down, Allen. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. David Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And Gold is able to put it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Johnson with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey.